Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
And good afternoon. We are joined once again by our friend, our coach, who's living all good, Lee Grigsby, here joining us today. How you doing?
I am good, Jill. Happy Tuesday, and always a pleasure to be here with you.
Well, happy to be here with you as well. Lee, would you mind introducing yourself and your company to us?
Absolutely. So for those who may not have been here that past couple shows, I am Lee Grigsby. I am the founder and coach of LiveAllGood Coaching. You can find me at liveallgood.com. You can find me on Instagram, LiveAllGood Coaching, Facebook, LiveAllGood Coaching. You can also find me at Lee Grigsby, and health coach, life coach, just about everything that involves mindset, involves better diet, just setting the conditions for inevitable success.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
And how can we get in touch with you?
You can also get in touch with me through email, liveallgood, the number 44 at gmail.com. And you can call or text at 202-455-6104.
Perfect. Well, it's a pleasure to have you here. And I know we had some great conversations in the past, and we had a good Zoom last week. Do you have anything in particular for today that you want to share?
I do, but we have to start. That's right. What has worked well for the week for you? I almost lost my laptop.
What's worked well for the week for me? Let's see. Still lack of sleep. I'm still double the jobs. I didn't do any organization. I got to decorate for Christmas the front of my house. I took out stuff in the attic and I did some decorating. Yes, I did something for myself. Yep. That was it. Mm-hmm.
There you go. See, that's you understand. That's the power of positive thinking. You almost lost it, and you're like, wait a minute.
Wait, what did I do positive? Yes, that was
there. You go.
Yes.
I love it.
And
Great
what
job.
About yourself?
Well, I'm going to share it, and I'm actually going to wrap it into a little bit of a story for our listeners.
Okay.
Because it's going to, I think, illustrate when I talk about inevitable success and setting the conditions for inevitable success. What worked well for me, it wraps around all of that. So what worked well was literally, again, and I know I talk about gym time, but going to the gym for me is really about my mental health. It really is. I need that space. I need the actual weights, they don't care, everything. That is all about my mental health. So I've been struggling with being consistent with it, as we all have been struggling with a lot of consistency. But the way I have set myself up for success with this, I've been going to a rec center that's not too far from my house. It works perfectly for my needs, except for the time. Okay. They have limited times, and that makes it not as ideal as Planet Fitness. Okay. Yeah. Planet Fitness is further from my house, but they're open 24/7. So this is the part, folks, where I want you to listen, because this is what happens with self-sabotage. We start to tell ourselves, well, I need X, right? So I started telling myself, okay, the rec center is great. And it's free, by the way, but I need Planet Fitness. I need to go there because it's more convenient for me, right? Telling myself I need that. And that's not a bad choice, because Planet Fitness is a great facility. I've worked out at some of the other facilities around the country. Great facility. But then I realized, and I put it on my calendar. I'm like, you know what? I got this lofty goal. I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get my workout done, because it's gonna set me up for the day. I'll be done. I'll be able to come home. Then I can take my daughter to school. All of that, right? Like, it plays out in your head. Perfect idea, right? Lofty goal. But then I started realizing, you know what? Let me be realistic first. It's getting colder. So I'm not necessarily going to want to get up for the cold mornings. I also thought about, well, I've been trying to go consistently to this rec center.
Yeah.
And there were times where I let my schedule go pushed my gym time aside and
Mhm.
then went for another 2-3 weeks without that.
Yeah.
So that was I started telling myself, okay, so let's start here, right? This is how you set the condition
Mhm.
to win. You set the condition for success. I'm like, you know what? I want to go to Planet Fitness 3 times a week, and that's going to cost me money. So why don't I start with this? Why don't I redo my schedule at the rec center away from my house? That's free.
True.
I can
Okay.
increase my frequency,
Uh-huh.
and let's start there.
Good
Because
point.
if I can increase my frequency, they have everything I need there at the rec
True.
center. That again is free.
Mm-hmm.
So why am I telling myself that I need Planet Fitness? Because it's more convenient with the hours, which is true, but that's not what I need.
True.
That was just me telling myself, okay, the rec center doesn't work for me. But when
But
it does. It
it
does.
does.
So I
Oh.
changed my schedule again to
Mm-hmm.
now accommodate 3 times a week at the rec center. And when
When?
I live up to that, that is going to set myself up for success.
Beautiful. And by the way, how are the bikes?
Still in the house.
Good. I know. Yeah, we people tuning in. We
That
talked
was,
about that last week. Unfortunately,
yeah.
about his bike got stolen and stolen and stolen, and it was a disaster. But it taught us some lessons. And
Yep. You have a part to play in that as well.
Yep.
But so yeah, that is when my coaching philosophy really is about inevitable success and how you set those conditions with whatever the goal. So I don't want people to think that you have to have the same goal as me. Going to the gym, that's what works for me. That is for my mental health. But it works with anything you want to do. And I really, around this time of year, right? We're getting to that time of year where people are thinking about the new year coming.
Yeah.
And okay, I want to improve on whatever, right? Whatever that is. Well,
Mm-hmm.
don't wait.
Yeah.
I want to go ahead and
100%.
offer that. Don't wait. Yeah,
Mhm.
don't wait till January, right?
Yeah.
Come January, everybody's going to do it, right? How further ahead would you be with your goal if you started now? If you started now,
Got a pretty good
right?
chance of sticking with it too, because
That's
all
right.
those that make those New Year's resolution, they kind of
By February,
yeah,
by
that was what, a
March.
month?
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
it even 4 weeks? Yeah.
If you're lucky, yeah. And here's the thing too, right? So I want to also, I'm glad we're talking about this, even though we can bring it up again as we get closer. But a lot of times when people make resolutions, what happens is what I did with this big goal of going to Planet Fitness, right? They have this huge goal, which is fantastic, and that's a good thing. But they try to do it all or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I've got to go to Planet Fitness 5 times a week. Okay, well, how about why don't we start with 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's start with what you can do. Do that consistently over 7 days.
Mm-hmm.
Then you do it again next 7 days, another 7 days. Before you know it, that's 21 days.
Yeah, you're right.
Then you've already built the habit of success for 2 days out of that 7. So then you add a 3rd day. And before you know it, 6 months passes and you are now doing your goal 4 times out of 7, which is plenty. But that's the way you build it. You have to build it slowly.
Mm,
And
you're
people
right.
get discouraged, that's the thing. Lofty goals, a big goal is great. I don't want people to think you shouldn't set a goal. Yes, you should. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But how are you going to reach it? Now you can also reach out to me and I can help you reach that.
Yeah. All right. Perfect. And then also, if someone does have any questions, wants to reach out to us, the number 631-317-1291, 631-317-1291. Feel free to give us a call and ask any questions for Lee as we continue the conversation. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yes. So yes, that worked well for me. I was very happy with setting myself up for success. And now I just have to do it.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Yep.
all of us though. It's a learning, there's a learning curve, it's a whole process. But by the way, Lee, for those
Yes.
that may not know just a little bit about your background, what brought you
Sure.
here into helping others? Could you share that quickly?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I would say, and this actually is part of the story I wanted to share from last week about
Perfect.
triathlon.
Okay.
So, maybe 4 or 6 years ago, it was about my own health, right? And I was trying to just come out of injuries. I had gained some weight. So that's really what started my own personal fitness journey.
Mm-hmm.
But then seeing people inspired by the commitment that I made to myself, that's what made me realize, wow, I could actually help someone else commit to themselves
Yeah.
and become a better version of themselves. So last week I did mention that I wanted to share why the sport of triathlon
Mm-hmm.
actually helps me daily,
Okay.
because a lot of times you might be afraid of success, right?
Mm-hmm.
You might be afraid to reach for something that you don't think you can do. Well, with the sport of triathlon, I had to do it afraid,
Okay.
because it's swimming, biking, running. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
My friend who just finished an Ironman triathlon, by the way, he's the
Um,
one that got me into it. And we had done a 5K race together. And he said, hey, you know what? When are you going to do a triathlon with me? It's like, hey, I'll do it next year. Fine. So I signed up for my first one in 2017.
oh,
I trained for 6 months in the pool swimming, because that's my weakest part.
yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I've always known how to swim, but trained 6 months doing laps in the pool. The triathlon I was doing is a sprint triathlon, which is about a half-mile swim, about a 16-mile bike ride, and a 5K run. That's what I was training for. So I wasn't worried about the biking and the running as much as the swimming.
Mm-hmm.
So we get there. It's June 3rd, I think, 2017. Not quite sure. But we get there and it's at a marina.
Wow.
And so I'm looking at the water and I'm like, wait, I can't see the bottom.
Like,
this
yeah.
this is not what I trained for.
Uh-huh.
And there's no lanes and the water's not clear. What is going on?
Oh gosh.
So again, this is my first one. So the anxiety's already there. Now it's building because
Uh,
this is not what I was ready for.
yeah.
Okay. And I'm thinking, oh yeah, you just walk down the beach like on the pictures they show you, or you just dive in. And I'm like, oh wait. So um, long story short, my wave is the last wave because it was my first one. So
Mm-hmm.
I had to wait 30 minutes for every other wave to go. So the anxiety is just building, just building. So they finally blow the whistle for us to get in. I jump into water, and Jill, I promise you this was my thought. I'm like, oh yeah, I have to swim back to the top.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You're actually gonna float up.
There's no bottom. You're not pushing off the bottom of the pool, nothing.
We have a call
So,
coming in. Stand by. Hello, hello.
oh, sure.
Hello, welcome to the show. You are live on the line with Lee Grigsby. Who's this?
Hi, my name is Kate.
Hi, Kate. Please ask any questions you may have.
Hi. My life is so busy, especially now with the holidays coming up, and I have a hard time juggling my personal life and my work life. Do you have any like suggestions on how I can stay focused?
Okay, is it Kate? It is
Kate, yes.
Kate, yeah.
Kate. Okay, thank you for calling. And I just want to make sure I hear that clearly. I think I heard there's a bit of a struggle between the work-life balance. Is that what I heard?
Yeah, like a
Okay.
struggle between my personal life and my work life, especially with the holidays. I was wondering if you have any suggestions how I can stay focused.
Sure, sure. So I would advise something like this. Kind of, you can write it down make a list of what is really important for you. And that way you can start to prioritize, maybe even 2 lists, right? Have a list for your personal life, have a list for the work life that you have, and even see what is it that you have to do for the holidays. So just write it all down, everything that you think you need to do.
Yeah.
Then look at the top 3 or top 5. Or you go through your list and you start to mark what is
What?
important to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because maybe you list them all and not in the order of importance. So maybe the 10th thing that you listed is the most important. So you put a star by that. And maybe you
Oh,
put a
okay.
star by the third thing you list. But that way you can start to see it in front of you. And then you can start to really kind of prioritize and stay focused with what you want to do. So in your personal life, maybe there's the top 4 things that you really, really need to do that are not negotiable. The
Mm-hmm.
rest of them, maybe they can wait. Then maybe in your work life, you have the top 2 or 3 that need to get done. And then with the holiday list, maybe you have another 3 that need to get done. So that way that helps you really focus on the things that matter.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the other things, maybe you can ask a friend to help, or Kate, do you have a married partner, husband, wife? You can ask them to help, maybe?
No, I'm by myself.
By yourself? Okay. So
Uh-huh.
maybe you can ask a friend to help too, you know?
Okay.
Maybe there's something that if one of your friends will say, hey, Kate, I see you're really busy. Is there anything I can do to help?
Mm-hmm.
So that friend that asked, go ahead and take them up on that. Say, hey, you know what? I need you to bake these cookies for the Girl Scout meeting that's coming up in a few weeks. Could you do that for me? My daughter's in Girl Scouts.
So that's an idea, yes.
All right, thanks. I'll try it. Thank you.
Sure. Thanks for calling, Kate.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks for the call. And 631-317-1291. If anyone else has any questions, 631-317-1291. Thank you, Kate. Awesome. And just by the way,
Yep.
remind Kate how we can reach out to you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So you can reach out to me. Phone number is 202-455-6104. You can also
Perfect.
email me at liveallgood, the number 44 @gmail.com, or you can go to the website, liveallgood.com.
Perfect. Thank you so much. All right. So before we got the call, I forgot where we left off specifically, but that's a good thing. Hopefully someone
Yeah, absolutely.
correct us again.
Kate was great. That was a great question too.
You're so cute. Thank you, honey.
And I was talking about triathlon, but I
Aw.
actually want to jump on what Kate was mentioning, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
That is important. People do get stressed, especially around the holidays, and have a hard time kind of figuring that out, right?
All of us.
So yeah, absolutely. That is something that I take clients through, figuring out. You have to put it in front of you, right? If you leave it in your head, it's always going to be jumbled.
Mhm.
So personally, I use my calendar. I see a lot of things, if you saw my calendar, it's a rainbow of everything. There's 15-minute slots, 2-hour slots,
Yeah.
everything. But I can see that. I look at it.
Uh-huh.
And that's what helps me prioritize what I need to do and what's negotiable and what's not.
Mhm.
I'm sure your calendar is very busy too. So that was a really good question. I'm glad she called to ask that.
Yeah. Anyone else? 631-317-1291. Have any more questions for Lee as we continue down our journey and our path today?
Absolutely. So I will wrap up the triathlon story real fast.
Sure. Yeah.
So, and like I said, I jumped in the water and I had to remind myself to swim up. So we're treading water. And one thing you shouldn't do is ever let someone borrow your arm to stay afloat.
Okay.
So there was a young guy said he was starting to panic because the water was a bit cold too, right?
Mhm.
He was like, man, let me borrow your arm. Next thing I know, is that a call?
Hold that thought.
Sure.
Hello, welcome to the show. You're live on the line with Lee. Who's this?
Hi, my name is Sabrina, and I was just looking for help trying to balance, work life and personal life. Work is just, it can be a lot sometimes, and my biggest thing is, eating right, and I don't really do that at work, because it's just, I may snack here or there, but, I don't even, do breakfast. But my question was, do you have suggestions just to help me balance everything so I can live, a better, healthy lifestyle?
Did you hear that? About
I'm so
balancing.
sorry. I did not hear the question. I'm sorry.
She's
Repeat
asking
that for
about
me?
advice to how to balance for a healthier lifestyle, to balance things out. Could you be a little more specific about what you're looking to balance, hun?
I think I heard something about breakfast.
Yeah, it's because I work a lot. So it's like I don't have time to sit there and eat like 3 meals a day.
Yeah, it's her working a lot and eating. So what advice could you give her on that? Thank you.
Sure. So I think the easiest thing is to kind of come up with options that are quick and easy, especially if you have to eat while you're at work. So that way you're still getting like protein, you're still getting a good fats, and you're getting maybe even carbs that'll help keep you energized,
Okay.
But are there any allergies that you have or anything like that?
Seafood, eggs, and peanuts.
Sorry, it's hard for me to hear, Jill. What did she say?
Peanuts and
okay.
Eggs.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
And
those
seafood.
are my go-tos. But
That sounds like a lot.
have you ever tried oatmeal or different ways to have oatmeal?
No, not really.
Okay.
Usually, like just in the morning, I just grab something quick, like a banana.
I heard that was
she
really
grabs
hard
like a
for me to hear.
banana. Yeah,
Okay.
I tried turning her up over here. I apologize.
Oh, no worries. No
ahead.
worries, Jill. So the one thing that you could try is overnight oats. That way you can use either Greek yogurt, or you can use plant-based yogurt. You can use milk, or you can use non-dairy milk. And with overnight oats, you get the rolled oats. So you can put them in a mason jar or like a shaker bottle, just about anything you can. I would not mix it with peanut butter because obviously you have an allergic reaction to peanuts. So don't do that. Don't do the peanut butter. But with the yogurt, with the milk, whether it's non-dairy and the overnight oats, you let them soak overnight. You can even put fruit in it. You could put blueberries. You can cut up some strawberries. Hopefully you're not allergic to any of those. But what that does is that will give you a protein-packed breakfast that also keeps you filled up for most of the day. So that way that gets you, and it's something, if you put it in like those shaker bottles, right? Depending on how thick you want it, you may have to put more milk in it, add more yogurt, put it in a blender, or don't put it in a blender, but the shaker bottle has the little silver balls that you can shake up.
Yeah.
But that way it's portable. So you can take it with you. You can even have a light breakfast before you leave for work, maybe like a toast with some kind of like almond butter. Well, I don't know if it's peanuts. You might be allergic to nuts as well, but maybe some kind of spread. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay.
She said, okay.
Oh, okay. So you can have a light breakfast, like a toasted breakfast, maybe even Nutella, something like that, right? It gives it a little bit of sweetness as well. And then for lunch, you have the overnight oats. That way the oats have time to soak up the milk or the plant milk, whatever one you use. I actually prefer almond milk myself. But yeah, that's a great way to have a filling meal, and you can do it anytime. It's very portable.
Okay. I appreciate that so much. Thank you.
Great. Thank you
You're
for
welcome.
the call.
Yeah. Before she goes,
before you go, hold on.
I have a recipe for overnight oats on my website. So if you go to LiveAllGood.com, look at the food and nutrition tab. It's probably one of the first recipes I have. I've been doing them for about a year.
Okay.
So you'll have to maybe scroll through the archives or do a search for overnight oats. But please remember to not do the peanut butter.
Great.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you.
Oh,
I'm definitely going to check it out.
Great. Thank you so much for the call. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks for the call.
Yeah, I heard her fine. I apologize. I'm trying to work with our levels here, but
Oh, no. The first one I heard, okay.
First one you heard, okay.
Yeah,
so it wasn't on my end. All right.
No. And then you turned it up and I did hear her more. So.
Okay, good. Well, thank you.
All good.
Well, we just have 3 minutes left in the show, Lee. Finish up the story. Yeah, it goes so quick.
Well, yeah. No. So the story just goes like that was the point. Like
Mhm.
again, he was leaning on my arm.
Oh,
I did literally almost drown
oh,
because he pulled me under a couple times, right? But I want people to understand the relentless pursuit of your goal.
yeah.
So we're all going that way, but I was determined that my time it was not over. I
Mhm.
was going to finish that race. I had trained for 6 months. I had done so much. I was going to finish this race no matter what, no matter what. So finally I got the guy off of me. We were treading water and I was exhausted, but I finished the swim, did the bike, did the run. And the point is, sometimes you just have to do it afraid. Sometimes you just have to jump in,
Yeah.
and it's okay.
Yeah.
You will figure it out as you go. You go piece by
Absolutely.
piece. Triathlons are not easy, and I'm not a great swimmer, but I'm still here to tell you about it.
Oh, well, thank you, Lee. And perseverance
Absolutely.
pays. Please give us the best form and all forms of contact.
Absolutely. Once again, you can reach me at LiveAllGood, the number 44 at gmail.com. You can call or text at 202-455-6104. You can also go to my website, liveallgood.com. You can find me there on the contact page. You can also find me on social media, LiveAllGood Coaching, Instagram, Facebook, and Lee Grigsby on
Beautiful.
Facebook.
Thank you, Lee. Thank you to our callers as well. You have a great day and a
Absolutely.
happy Thanksgiving, okay?
You too, Jill. You too.
Thank you so
Thank you so
much.
much.
Bye-bye.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
Mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.